My fellow Americans, the war on drugs is over. We surrender. The war on some drugs has caused more death, destruction, and devastation than drug abuse ever could. Even if you never touch the stuff, the war affects you because you're paying for the cops and the courts and the prisons, and more importantly, you're less free than you used to be. We have more than 2 million people in prison, more than any other country in the world, and half of them are there for nonviolent drug crimes. Drugs? We surrender. The war on drugs is over. With my executive order number 2, the federal government is now completely out of the drug enforcement business. This morning, I had a little meeting with the commissioner of the FDA, and I told him to get rid of Schedule 1, their list of recreational drugs that they claim has no medical value. I expected more pushback, but he was remarkably willing to cooperate after he saw what I had done to the Department of Education. Legalizing everything hasn't been tried very often, but other countries have done it, and the results have been spectacular. Drug use actually dropped, and so did the crime associated with it. Police were freed up to concentrate on solving real crimes like murder, assault, robbery, and people talking in movie theaters. Now that the war is over, all of you in jail for nonviolent drug crimes will be pardoned, released, and have your criminal records purged. We're sorry we've ruined so much of your life, and we'll try and help you get at least some of it back. Let us know if there's anything we can do for you, and we'll talk about it. This is going to leave us with a lot of empty prison cells. We're closing the DEA tomorrow, all 239 domestic offices, and all 92 foreign offices in 69 other countries. Auctioneers will be arriving next week to liquidate their office furniture, vehicles, tactical gear, computers, all the tools of their trade. Then we're going to sell off their buildings. I've had a lot of those signs made. This is going to save us more than $3 billion a year. Now, doctors will be able to prescribe pain medications without fear of fines and prison sentences if some Fed gets upset. Psychedelics are incredibly effective for treating a wide variety of mental problems, including PTSD, and we've known that for 50 years, but we couldn't even research them, much less use them. And marijuana, besides being the safest of all intoxicants, is one of the most useful drugs in the world. States, I can't force you to get rid of all of your drug laws, but I'm going to force you anyway. The feds coerce states to do their will by withholding funds. We take away 2% of your highway funds if you don't have a motorcycle helmet law, another chunk if the drinking age isn't 21, and, well, it's a long list. I'm getting rid of most of that blackmail, but only so I can replace it with my own. And my blackmail is going to be more severe. In order to avoid it, you have to make everything legal and easily obtainable for a reasonable price. No layers of bureaucracy and permits and licenses and prescriptions and all that nonsense. People should be able to find a dispensary and buy what they want. And the only restrictions allowed are the age of the purchaser and maybe quantity. Well, what about heroin? Yes, everything, including hard drugs. Well, what about meth?
Did I stutter?
If you keep fighting the drug war in your state, I'm going to withhold 10% of all your federal funds for everything. You're going to lose billions of dollars every year until you grow a brain. And if that's not enough, if you insist on fighting this unwinnable war in your state, I'm going to monkey wrench your attempt. Anytime someone gets arrested for possession or distribution, unless they're selling to kids, I'm just going to immediately issue them a presidential pardon. How are you going to get around that? you're going to waste a lot of time. I know that some of you are freaking out right now, envisioning the streets filled with zombies and tweakers who are coming for you. If you're worried about that, let me ask you, now that heroin is legal, are you going to run out and buy some? No? How about other dangerous drugs? No? Well, then what makes you think all your neighbors will? Have a little faith in your fellow citizens, folks. Throughout all of human history, we have sought and perfected ways to get wasted, right from the invention of agriculture to make beer. It's part of human nature, and every attempt to force sobriety on people has been a dismal failure. It's time for this disaster to end, and I'm ending it today.